So in terms of broad-based versus specific applications, we've been seeing AI for a while now. So AI is not necessarily a new thing. What we've seen more recently has been this update in terms of the capability of AI with this generative AI. And what this has allowed you to do is have things like chatbots and things along those lines to answer unstructured data types of questions in a very formatted way and really enhance sort of automation. And you can see there's specific applications that you could use that for in a very specified way. And then there's also very broad-based things. You have an overall sort of chatbot that is answering general questions for you and working alongside of you in a day-to-day function. So I think it'll be a combination of both, and it'll be who can leverage that over time.
We think AI is going to be like previous technology breakthroughs, like the personal computer and the internet. And with those, we saw both broad and specific applications succeed. So I think about our business of investing. We use broad applications like Microsoft Office and Excel, and then we use very specific applications like Bloomberg. We think the same thing's going to happen with AI. There'll be broad applications that summarize our emails or help us write simple emails. But then again, like in our business, you'll need a financially specific AI application to be of any use.
In terms of how things will be disrupted and sort of the advantage that big tech has, just like with anything else with technology, disruption happens, and it happens pretty fiercely over the course of time. But it'll be a matter of who's able to adapt to that and adapt to the different changes that are happening as a result of sort of these advancements that we've seen more recently. I think will also come into focus is where are the barriers to entry in these businesses as this technology unfolds and evolves. Specifically, I don't know that software necessarily is an advantage anymore because it can be written more succinctly and quickly using generative AI. So you have to go to these other barriers to entry like sticky user base and things along those lines. So some folks will be able to adapt to that. Other folks might get left behind in the dust.
Big tech is spending enormous sums of money on AI to make sure they don't get toppled. I don't think a smaller player will be able to topple them, but some of them may get toppled by each other. For example, if Meta executes AI much better than Google, they may be able to topple them and take their business, just like many years ago, Google took Yahoo's. I think small players will create new markets and be successful, but I also think the big tech players are just too big and they have too much money to spend to get toppled by an upstart.
In terms of this evolution of AI and what it's allowed to do, if you think about what this AI is doing, it's taking unstructured data and it's creating a response or it's creating a predicted outcome. What's interesting about that is unlike other AI that we've seen in the past, this is more broadly applicable to a lot of different areas. So if you can apply this to sort of knowledge-based industries to increase your productivity over the course of time, I think you're going to see this much more broadly applied to a lot of different sectors over the course of time than maybe some of the more specified things that we've seen in the past. So I think the disruption and sort of the productivity enhancement will be a little bit more wide-scale than people are thinking at this point.
We see AI as a broad technology that has applications everywhere and should increase the capability and productivity of companies in every sector. There will, of course, be winners and losers based on who executes best. We expect there will be specific AI companies that are winners because they're the ones bringing this technology to the companies that use it. We also think there'll be other kinds of winners, which would be the companies that use AI technology to create new or disrupt old businesses. We think a company like Uber, as an example, of a company that used technology of smartphones and the internet to disrupt the taxi business. So we think with AI, there will be winners and losers everywhere.
With any technology disruption or any advancement in technology over the course of time, there's going to be disruption. There's going to be winners and losers. What we find over the course of time is the folks that are able to adapt and adjust to those changes in the market and then take advantage of sort of the things that are being unseated, the incumbents that are being unseated as a result of those changes, those will really be the structural winners. And those are the folks that we're looking to invest in over the course of time. Now, as a knowledge-based worker myself and looking at other companies that have knowledge-based workers. I think this is a really exciting time, if this is a technology that can really enhance your productivity and be able to do more and compete in really interesting ways over the course of time. So we're really excited about what is to come with this, with these enhancements.
You don't think there's any way to tell today who will be the winners and losers over the long term? This is not the first technology revolution we have lived through. We've seen the PC revolution and the internet revolution. And from them, we've learned you cannot reliably bet on the early winners. Some of the early winners of the internet were companies like US Robotics that made modems. They did well for a while, but it didn't last as dial-up was replaced by broadband. Amazon was an early winner in the internet age, but it lost most of its value before it years later recovered and became a giant it is today. Apple was an early loser in the internet age and only became a success about a decade later as the iPhone took off. I think the lesson from this is to avoid investing in companies today thinking you can know who will be successful over the long term. You're going to pay a very high price today for those companies, and you still have a low probability of success that they will be the winners of tomorrow.